So I see what most of part of our experts already join us, and I suppose we can start. Let me start record this session. It could be easier to share with everyone.
Recording in progress.
Yes. Hello, everyone, and I'm glad to see healthy, smiley here. Let me introduce what will be here for next hour. So, Global Transport Innovation Contest is about innovation in the transport system, and we decided to focus on developing countries what try to scale and scale and develop some in some fields. Before that, we mentioned two topics: mobility as a service, autonomous transport, consumer services, and public transport, and finally transport energy and public transport. So we already hold two of them meetings, and today we will discuss about consumer services. Here you can see our schedule program, and day to day we have amazing experts every time. And finally, at the end of the March, we will have a pitch session with up to 15 startups. It's more than 30. And lots of corporates, VCs, experts, and it's going to be interesting session for whole day. Briefly about our main partner, Future Transport and Transportation and Innovative Mobility. It's a corporate VC and innovation platform focusing on transportation and mobility seed stage ventures. FTM has been working since 2020 and establishing collaboration with public transportation ecosystem in Africa, Middle East, and Central Asia. So what's going on today? And the first part will be our discussion session with our experts. We will talk about consumer services in public transport. And we will try to understand how we can increase consumers' satisfaction, experience, and so on, using modern technology. And after that, we will hear presentation from for startups, and it will be interesting, I suppose. So let's start. And I would like to start what's going on with my. Okay, yeah, here we go. Yes. So let me briefly introduce our today's experts. Yeah, I see what most of them here. Yeah. First expert is Ronhir Verma. It's project lead at Flugen Limited. And next, our expert is Adnan Kusheri. Is a customer service executive at Air India. Alan Octavio Vera Velasco, mayor's advisor, Autonomous Municipal de Santa Cruz. Thais Zayshenk, I hope I pronounce it right. Specialist in public innovation, political participant, and sustainable development, Sao Paulo. Marcelo Sakai, founder and the CEO Mobicity. Sahar Matsabur, chief specialist enterprise command and control center, road and transport authority Dubai. Jamel Babet, regular and training manager at Metro IA. And finally, Nikolai Knezev, deputy director of revenue and control service of state unitary enterprise MaaS Trans. So I hope this discussion will be interesting for everyone, and I give you my microphone to our moderator today. It's Andrew.
Yeah, hi guys.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah.
Second Andrew. Now have this mic. So, welcome aboard, guy. Nice to see you. So, hi everyone. Thank you for joining this discussion today. It's our third in a row discussion within our startup competition, where we trying to discuss the most interesting topics with top experts, and we push them to share their insights and the interesting experience about some different technology challenges and something. So today about consumer services and different technologies, some legal frameworks and something like this. So, but before I begin, I must outline the rules of our discussion, because first of all, it's a discussion, and so guys, questions is you and my colleague Andrew will signal me, and we will give you opportunity to ask a question and talk to each other. So let's be open, let's share more insight as possible, because a lot of new technology entrepreneurs will watch us, and we'll try to find some interesting insight for their startups and daily routine works. So first in row, Marcella, it's your mic. Yeah. Hi, Marcella. How are you doing? Yeah, just turn it on.
It's me?
Yeah, it's you.
Hello, morning from Brazil.
Yeah. So, hi. As I know, you have a different experience in robotic technologies and something like this. So it will be nice if you can share what technologies are available in Brazil, especially according to robotic that's applied in transportation field, and how it could be applied to consumer services. So, yeah.
Okay, just a brief of what we do. Mobicity is a technology that congregates apps like Uber, Didi, but also in Brazil, tax unions. We also put rental cars, also freight, buses, vans, but for companies, because here in Brazil we have different policies from abroad.
Mm.
Here in Brazil, companies must pay the commute to work, and we don't have the best infrastructure like trains that we have in Europe or the cities. It's not that safe for using bikes. So what we do is this MaaS platform, and we
Mhm.
provide some services like to optimize payments, to optimize the car sharing, and also some intelligence of choosing the best price. That's what we do here. I worked in a bus app, which was
Mhm.
the sector of is the biggest app, the Brazilian app. And I understood that here in Brazil we have a difficult for public transportation because you don't have a unified system of informations and payment of to pay the ticket. Like if you are here in São Paulo or in Rio de Janeiro, you have different how can I say that, different jurisdictions, and so in the future is going to be better with connect. You don't have access to all the informations because we have a serious question in Brazil, that what I said, that companies
Mhm.
pay the commuting, and the bus companies that we have here in Brazil survive from this kind of money, and so they don't show how they do that. It's better for them. Just, just to
Okay, wow. So, you say that in Brazil you don't transport. Yeah.
now in the metro, we have more accessibility in São Paulo. Maybe Thais can add some comments. But we have a system here that you don't have too much access to informations in the bus transportation. In the metro station, you have like it's 1 year or two that you can buy using your app with a QR code. But in the past, you couldn't.
So it's sounds really interesting. And what the most popular way to pay for your
Cars,
transportation?
cars.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah. That's why Uber is so popular here.
Mm-hmm.
Didi, and of course in São Paulo you have like 6 million people every day using the metro
Mm-hmm.
in radial way to go to the city center and come back. But uh, people have 2 or 3 cars because you have a policy that this plate cannot work, so they buy 2 cars just to use cars. Like it's insane.
Okay. So what about some car sharing or other mobility services?
We have BlaBlaCar here. It's very popular. I started in carpooling that
Uh-huh.
in 2020 and 2012. I started BlaBlaCar for companies. That was my beginning and with startups. And but we realized that you don't Brazil, you have the part that it's not that safe every time. So people inside the city, how can I put it? So yeah, we have car sharing services like BlaBlaCar. This is
Okay.
the main
Okay.
one.
So, why it's happening? What is your opinion? Because basically, our big cities are going to reduce personal cars using just to reduce carbon footprint and something like that. But it's a totally opposite situation in Sao Paulo. Why it's happening?
I believe the first thing is politics needs to change, and we need to invest in infrastructure. Like right now, we have new lines for metro, and that's very good. Like I believe that in 2 or 3 years, we will have a better circulation of people inside the city. But the for me, the way I see the pain point, the most the change that must have is the access to information, to unify how you pay and how you have access to the information.
Okay.
Just to be clear again, what is the like the whole population does not know that. They don't know that. Companies need to pay the ticket for employees to commute. And imagine that they need to pay $100.
Okay.
If the employee does not use because they go by walk or they own cars, the company does not know that they still have money. But since our system does not show how much money they have in the wallet, companies need to pay every month. So,
okay.
And all the companies survive from that, the bus companies, and also the money from the government. So if they don't give access to the information, we cannot evolve to the payment system, to multiple access to multiple apps to buy, something like this.
Okay, cool. Thanks for your opinion. We have to move forward and give our mic to India. Adnan, are you with us?
Hello, I'm audible.
Yeah, we
Hello.
hear it. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Hi.
Thank you so much.
Hi.
How are you,
Hi.
sir?
So, I'm cool. What about you?
All good. Thank you so much.
So, as I know, you're working in Air India, right?
That's correct.
So, and you have a really nice experience about some customer success management and customer experience in general. So, what do you think about some digital transformation of public transportation field, and where is our future, and how far away air taxi?
Okay. So, like, if we talk about the current situation at the Mumbai airport, I work at the Mumbai airport. So, like currently, when passengers come from a foreign destination to Mumbai to go anywhere from the airport, we have taxis, we have like we also have Uber, and we have Ola. Ola is in it's the same like in Uber, but it's an Indian version of Uber, right? Then, but the problem over here is that while passengers going from Mumbai airport to any destination anywhere to any hubs of the Mumbai, it's very challenging because of the traffic and because of the infrastructure. Because in Mumbai we don't have big roads, right? So it's a very big problem for anyone who comes to Mumbai.
Mm-hmm.
So I think metros connecting from the airport to the most destination near Mumbai will be a great change, right? Also, if we talk about air taxis in Mumbai, it's a very long way ahead, because in the near future it's not coming so early. If you talk about Dubai and other cities like in China, or maybe some Gulf cities, they're possible. But in India, uh, I think it's a very long way ahead now. For if you talk about air taxi, well, I think which one idea which I had in my mind, if we
Mm-hmm.
can probably apply it at the Mumbai airport, it's like having electric cars
Mm-hmm.
at the airport, where you can book the cars directly from your mobile app or through online, and self drive cars, or maybe a car with drivers, right? You can book the cars, and you can drive to destination, to wherever you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
This might be very much possible at the Mumbai airport.
Why are you talking about specifically electro cars?
Um, yeah. So the condition at the Mumbai itself, all over India, that it's very much polluted now, right? And it's really hard to breathe without a mask. If you go around metropolitan city, it's very difficult to breathe, right? Electric cars will be a very good option to travel, and also to minimize the pollution which we have with the common usual cars which we have, which work on diesel and petrol.
Okay, so
And
yeah, how does it affect customer experience personally, each client, just for your opinion?
absolutely, electric cars. The very first thing is the feeling. If someone is traveling in an electric car, right? They have this feeling that they are engaging for a better future, right? They are putting their efforts, like they are a part of a good cause of not causing air pollution and noise pollution. That's the very first thing which you will feel as a customer while traveling in an electronic car. Also, that the the user interface, right? The interface when you travel in an electric car is very different from an usual uh, diesel working car. So it will be a great change, I believe. Also, like in Mumbai, we have this electric scooters, right? We have quite a destination from which we drive electric scooters, and like if we put electric cars with a mobile application, where you can self-drive the electric cars to wherever destination you want, and park the car there itself, and you end your journey, and you may pay for the.
Okay, so thank you. That was really interesting. And from India, we're moving to Bolivia. Alan, with us?
Yes,
Oh,
hi
nice.
Andrew. Hi Andrew.
Yeah,
Nice to
yeah.
see you. It was really nice to hear from my colleagues. I want to share some slides of the project I want to share with you. It's really quick, so don't worry. It's going to be some images. Please let me share my screen. I'm sure you are seeing it. Yeah. I want to talk about the urban cable system that we developed here in La Paz and El Alto in Bolivia. So it's a city. It's full of skyscrapers. We don't have much space to grow. Actually, we have all the problems for the last 20 years. Okay, and unfortunately, we had really bad public transport services until 2010. Can you imagine this picture? It's a shame, right? So what we thought, We thought that the solution is in the sky. We will not, at that time, we decided not to use the roads that we have. We couldn't afford a railway solution. So that's why we think that we need another means of transportation. So this picture shows that if you want to move 10,000 passengers per hour, 5,000 per direction, you need 2,000 cars, 100 buses, or one line of cable car. So the cable cars that were invented for touristic purposes, not to connect the Alps when people want to go ski. So we use this kind of technology to use it as a public transportation. We develop a scheme, so I have to develop a network. Okay, so nowadays we have developed 10 lines of this urban cable in the cities. They have 32 kilometers of length, and I want to show you this. Sorry, yeah, this is the way how this functions. Okay, and as I was saying, the master plan is about 15 lines, so it's more than 55 kilometers. And nowadays we have developed only 10 lines, which is the 32 kilometers, which is the world's largest urban cable car in operation. Then I want to show you the good things about this is that we use 1,500 cabins only for 10 passengers, and the system, dear Andrew, was to serve people with disabilities. Because as you remember, the first picture that I showed you with the problem with the old buses, people with disabilities, elder people, pregnant women, children, they couldn't really have access in decent condition to this kind of old polluting buses. So we developed this kind of electric solution that will allow us to not depend on old buses. So this is kind of some pictures of the stations. So it's fully electric. And one day we can have the capacity to move nearly 600,000 people. So if you compare this capacity with some metro systems in the region in South America, we have a better capacity, only using cabins for 10 people. Can you imagine? So
it's your real numbers for today, yeah?
Real numbers for today.
Wow.
Even though the pandemic has affected in some way, but yeah, this is the capacity that we're moving. Until now, we transported more than 400 millions in the city because the system was inaugurated in 2014, the first line, and then every year we inaugurated the other ones. What about the save time? In some trips, the trip will last with 1 hour, but using one line, we can have only 8-minute trip. And so instead of spending 1 hour in a bus. So the time saving is really huge, and it's impacting economically the people. These some pictures. I'm coming to an end to the better service quality, because nowadays every person can travel seated. Okay, so you avoid sexual harassment. You avoid all the other problems that women experience in the vehicles, in trains or in buses. People with disability, especially with physical disability, can use the system, the elder people. So we are promoting social inclusion. We develop interesting solutions, underground station for aerial system, links with a vertical connection only for the system, bridge station, so that you cannot use the reduced highway capacity of the city. You can implement these solutions in flat cities. You can implement this solution in the middle of the streets. You can afford it because it's like 10% of what you would spend if you were decided to build a railway solution, for example. It's really quick to build. The operational costs are low, okay? And for example, this line, it is the light blue line, we developed it in just 1 year. From the planning stage to the construction until the inauguration of the system, we spent 1 year and 1 day. 366 days. So even for the political side of that, all the majors like this kind of solution because they are really quick to build. Conclusion, cable cars, to my understanding, are feasible for urban public transport solution for every city configuration and demand needs. And the most important thing, it is a real solution that can help accessibility for the vulnerable groups of society, such as elder people, children, and people with disability. That's it.
Wow, it's really amazing. So I saw cable cars in Istanbul, but it works only on hills. What about flat cities?
Yeah, actually, it is feasible. I remember 2 years ago, I made the study to Abu Dhabi to build in a flat city here in South America, in Asunción, Paraguay, in Honduras. So the urban cable solution, dear Andrew, it is useful to connect one point to the other, one point A to point B, no matter what is the configuration of the city. No matter if you have a lake in the middle of these 2 points, no matter you have two mountains or a hilly side or a flat city. The important thing of this is that you can really develop direct lines so you can avoid all the traffic congestion of the city, the traffic lights, traffic jam, and really you fly over congestion. So it is feasible to build in flat cities for sure.
Okay, yeah, I saw Rajesh have a question. Yeah?
Hi, hi, Alan. I'm really interested in listening to what you just said. I was just curious, what is the maximum passenger carrying capacity of a cable car line?
Yeah. In our case, because we develop it as a network, the whole network has a large capacity. As I was saying in the image, I put a picture of 500,000 people per day. That is the amount of people that we are used to transport per day. But the capacity of all the lines functioning 17 hours per day would be around 900,000, the capacity of them. But if you are talking about just one line, you can move 500,000 to 600,000 people per direction if you use cabins for 10 persons. You can use larger cabins, but then you have to design larger stations so that this interaction between people that are getting out and getting into the cabin, it is different. So it depends of the system that you're designing. But as I was saying, it's really used for every kind of demand need that every city would have. Actually, we had the visit of 2 or 3 Indian cities. I remember Mumbai, Kolkata, and Ahmedabad. I remember, to see our system, and we explained them how it's working and how it will be used also in Indian cities.
Yes, there is one in Dharamsala in India, actually. That's a short line. But having said that, what is the maximum hourly capacity? That was my question. Suppose you have one link. What is the maximum throughput? Yeah. So what's the maximum throughput you can achieve per hour? Yeah.
As I was saying, it depends on the cabin that you use. For example, I want to make an example. Some months ago, I was in France, and we're developing cabins for 30 people. And that system will be implemented in China. But unfortunately, because of the amount of the size of the cabin, the station was too large, and there was a lot of time, time waste with people getting out of the cabin and getting in. So the actual capacity, when you just make the numbers, was around 10 passengers per direction per hour. So if you compare this 30 people capacity cabin versus the cabins for only 10 people, I would really recommend to implement in smaller cabins so that you can have more of them, and then you can put a high speed so that you can have all the cabins available for people, because that's the good thing about it. You don't have to wait for a cabin. As if you are using a train, you have to wait for a train, you have to wait for a bus, right? In this case, you go to station and the cabins are all the time are functioning. So you have to choose which one you're going to enter. It's not that I'm waiting for the cabin. The cabins are moving around and every 5 seconds. So you have this availability of the cabins are really cool for people that have don't time to waste.
Okay, thank you, Alan, and thank you, Rajesh, for questions. That's a really amazing discussion. So, let's move forward. Nikolai, hi, nice to see you.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, by the way, what's going on in Moscow public transport? Could you share some interesting stuff and insights?
Yep, the Moscow transport network is actively developing, trying to face all the demands of a growing city. So we are trying to help our passengers to get a better service. And today I want to tell you about one of our projects that we are developing in the Moscow Department of Transport. It's called Sightseeing Bus. The idea is to make each bus an excursion bus. So we're creating an audio service on the regular bus roads, so the passengers will be able to spend more interesting time on the road on their regular trips, watching in the windows and not Googling at their gadgets. And in addition to this, we are planning to find a new passengers that a new purpose of using the public transportation. So it will be the cultural entertainment transportation. The mechanics is like this: the passenger enters the bus and gets the push in the application with an offer to listen to an excursion, and he will have to use his headphones to listen to content. And the Moscow is a city with history of many centuries, and a lot of events and stories have happened on its streets, and all of the stories we want to tell to our passengers. So the big idea is to divide Moscow on the segments from bus stop to bus stop, and create dozens of stories, so every passenger could travel by the bus on the Moscow, listening every day, every month, a new story, and have a lot of fun. First of all, we abandoned the idea to make audio through the bus speakers because it interferes with the navigation, especially with the announcement of bus station. So the main way is to use it with your headphones. What have I say else?
What kind of key metrics it should affect?
The key metric that we want to affect is the satisfaction of the service of transportation in Moscow. It mainly we don't think about the monetization. It will be a free service, and we also want to make a new dimension, a new space on existing infrastructure of bus stops, metro stations, and actually vehicles. We try to create a cultural entertainment dimension. We now already have the tours in the subway. We have a Moscow Transport Museum, and now we are inventing the bus excursions, so that it will be the whole interconnected platform where you can reopen your native city, or if you are our guest, you can travel not only in the center of Moscow, in the center of the city that have worldwide known sightseeing places, but also in some strange and even dangerous blocks, because all of them have interesting histories, and you can know everything about Moscow just sitting in a bus. So this is it.
So that's cool. I really believe on these kind of services and some product development about satisfaction development of end users. It's really necessary as a part of key strategy of any transport system transformation. So thanks a lot. And we're back to Brazil. Thais, it's your time as the most beautiful speaker. You will be last.
Very much. And also thank you, the other Andrew and Ina, for the invitation, and other colleagues for the shared valuable information. So today I think I will speak about government role in boosting the innovation ecosystem in many ways. And I would like to start talking about Brazil context. So we have opportunities for growth in the sector, which has a concentration of solutions in large urban systems, and mobility is a central point of that. We have a map of Brazilian startup ecosystem made by ABS Startup, that is association here in Brazil, that says that less than 4% of the startups here in Brazil are B2G model business. And we have a little bit more than 30% of the investment from the public support. So we have science and technology funding agencies for that. And also we have a small part of mobility cases. And so CAF America and Brazil Lab, there is an accelerator here from GovTech. They say that the main areas of GovTech in Brazil are management, that's about 28%, health, there's 11%, and education 17%, and mobility are 7%. So we have an opportunity to grow here as well. And the safer and more attractive, the greater interest in creating the solutions and focus on those types of disease for the government can help. So we have from 2021 a legal framework for startups. Is a law that actually is a regulation that help the public administration to hire solutions. And we started this dialogue in 2017, with provocation from the private innovation ecosystem and guided by the Ministry of Economic, Technology, Innovation, and Communication here in Brazil. And this law represents potential for the market growth and attraction, with security mechanisms for investors as well. And we use a regulatory sandbox for testing solutions. That is really a nice instrument here to simplify special conditions, legal condition actually, to new solutions that are trying innovative business models and testing experimental techniques and technologies. So we have this biggest, I don't know how can I say that, but it's an open contract for innovation solution. It's a public contract that we have a little bit of, started with a mapping of public problems and recognizing challenges. So we prioritize them. And then we have a market solution quest, and we're looking for what exists in solutions, innovation, and startups about that. And we have the public decision to hire and definition of purchase instruments and open the calls for the solutions. And then we try it on. We have a collaboration term for innovation tests with cash transfer in small amounts, just to operation validate the solution. And we monitor the results and impact achieved. So if that's okay, if you like the results, we can just buy and has a public purchase of this solution and the contract signal with startups. I believe we have. I got one example here. That I can share? There's from Recife that works with mobility, and also pick up some information about what Marcelo said before. There is our data and interoperability problems here. So we have an open data policy from public data, but we also have different kind of problems with different public and private partners, and we have allocations that is really different from the different points of view, but economic and social and also cultural difference. And we have a lot of different decisions of local law. We have a federal law that, of course, regulates the biggest points, but we have a difference from the municipalities in the cities and the states. One point that makes really difficult to share data and share common systems. So here in Recife, there's another city. We have the city hall with a program that calls EITA. It's a local legislation that reflects this federal one, and among the challenges, there is one that is monitoring and identify defects in the pavements of Recife roads. So they can improve the public decision making by using data and to which one and what priority we have on mobility. And one of the tasks and contract solution is GeoVista. There is a sensor system installed on public and private vehicles for geolocalized collection of data on road quality and use of the road. It's a real-time reach with 80% of the city cover, if I'm not mistaken. And they map and prioritize roads and anomalies and identify with the new data and the conjunctions of the public existing data on the system, what should we prioritize on the city context. And the solution has a spin-off that is also on public safety with using the sensors for collecting data and public lighting. And also helps the environment because we have vehicles that will already share these trajects on the roads, so we can optimize these kinds of value as well. I believe that's a big reason that I prepared today. I'm open for further questions, Andrew.
So guys, gentlemen, please, questions. I don't see any questions. So, what are the key strategy points are you following?
Can you rephrase that? I'm not sure if I quite understood.
Yeah, sure. What are your key objectives? Yeah, because you have created really amazing frameworks that boost a lot of innovation processes. What are your key KPIs or maybe objectives, in other words?
We have a mistrust issue with the government sector from the private perspective here. And also we believe that our culture is for innovation is rising up and we have our way to get in. So I believe we can answer your question in two kind of ways. The first one is we have to secure investors and the people that will develop the solutions to create a safe environment to test and to be risky enough to join the government with the solutions. And also we have a sustainable finance problem here because we need cash transfers to the solutions and also a space to try they on. So we help with security on the investment and also with ways that the government can purchase the solution. So we have a solution, a finance balance there. And also we provide a space for the solution to try. I mean, if you have a solution that opens in the traffic and we have the lighting or the public light system, for example, you need to get some authorizations to try the solution. So the law, this kind of law, they make it a little bit easy for you to try solution on public ways, public spaces. And also we have a cultural bus. That is the second way that I can answer your question is here in Brazil, we work with, I think it is a worldwide context, but we have the culture changing and then we regulate that with the law. But also we have the power to bust the culture by using the law and the regulation section to improve the ecosystem. So I guess we're trying to bust it on, also making safer to the public agents that will make the decision makings of the public agencies to feel safe enough to try it on, because we don't have this kind of culture wide open on the public administration yet. We have this consultant in some of the biggest cities and some of the engagement agencies, public agencies.
Wow, cool.
I'm not sure if I answered it.
Yeah. And the question, Marcelo, yeah, it's your mic.
Just to adding up some information, like a very good point of view of Thais. Are you in Recife, Thais, Pernambuco?
No, I'm in Brazil. I'm São Paulo, sorry. But I work with a little close with the EITA program that is from Recife.
Yeah. Here's here's a perspective, man. Brazil is huge, and it's not similar. It's like the areas that we have in Brazil is so different. The solution that our friend from La Paz showed us is unbelievable. It's awesome. We could have it here in Brazil. So when you ask what is the key points or the strategy, I believe Brazil don't have Brazil. It's not unified. It's not unified. We don't have you can see by elections like we are so divided. So it also goes to the politics for transportation. Yesterday, I was in a national event for transport and mobility, but it was in the perspective in the point of view of a group of particular companies, and you have like in the north like different decisions to decide things by train and logistics. So what we have, I write down 3 points. One is the infrastructure. We need to improve our infrastructure so startups can try new services. The politics. We in every state that we have here, you have startups trying to break some bad policies, and the access to data. So we've improved the infrastructure. We've managed to change some old policies, and we managed to give more access to data. We will create a better environment for startups. But I believe that it is in all the countries, those points that you can see it well, right?
Yeah, Marcelo, thank you. You just done my job. You made some conclusion. Thanks a lot. It's a team job. Okay, yeah, there is.
And sorry, I just want to add something really soon. The attractiveness of the continuity of the solution and also the scale and popularity of working with the government are other different kind of key points here. And also the law changes perspective of intellectual property in licensing of the technique that the technologies that created in partnership with the public sector. So we have an improvement there that opens the attractive of solutions to work with the public system. And also, there's one thing that is keeping in my mind. There's one mobility meet the inequality problem, because we have here in Brazil a really huge problem, mobility that the public service are not really good attending for part of the people that works in vulnerability, that stays in vulnerability zones, but have to go to the centers of urban centers. And we have the only kind of way to do this for when you have an equality economic system is to use the public transportation. So we have two kinds of problems in mobility. One is the access to public systems that works very well for the people who are okay to use that, but have other options like buy two cars. But we have also a problem with people that don't have the option, and they need to prioritize the mobile system in public facilities to the other areas than not only the urban centers. So I'd like just to put up in your minds as well, because stay in mind, and I like to share it.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. It was really amazing. And I hope it was really useful for everybody.
Yeah. Let me continue our meeting today. And thank everyone who would share your ideas, experience, projects, amazing projects with Cable Cup. Yeah, and before we start our pitch session, I would like to briefly remind the easier rule. 5 minutes for presentation, 5 minutes for Q&A. So if anyone will get some question in your mind, you can ask to our founders. So let's move on to the pitch session. And our first startup is Ozone Cars. Guys, you're here.
Hi, I am just trying to pull up the video. Just a minute.
Who will start? Deepak or Ajesh?
This will be Ajesh here, and Deepak also can.
Okay, no problem. So you can start sharing your screen.
Sure.
And 5 minutes for you.
Yeah, hi. So yes, Ozone Motors, we are a startup from Chennai, India, and our space being electric mobility. What we are trying to do is to build a sustainable mobility last mile connectivity solution for urban locations like urban cities. So our vision here is to build a right size vehicle and obviously use micro factories which are lighter in terms of manufacturing than conventional factories and deploy them into the last mile market. So this is our primary vision in terms of when we talk about Ozone Motors. So we did start by building the vehicle. So if you see the vehicle is a micro vehicle, we have successfully built a prototype and it can accommodate 4 people. And we are also building it over the technology, which is in-house developed platform architecture. The platform architecture basically allows us to build up to 6 model of vehicles over the same platform. So when we talk about the future of automotive manufacturing, the conventional method has to change so that it is lighter on the planet. So we came up with this methodology in which on our platform, up to 70% of the parts are reusable, and you can actually build multiple targeted purpose-driven vehicles over the same platform, which can make a huge difference in terms of the carbon footprint, right from manufacturing the vehicle to manufacturing the batteries as well. So the idea basically is to identify the opportunity in the last mile commute. So since we come from India and we see a huge market growth here right now as we speak in India, where there are a lot of ride-hailing companies coming up. They still use the IC engine vehicles, and or there are also a lot of CNG vehicles that are coming up. They're trying to move into electric, but there is a huge entry barrier due to the capital expenses that incurs for any fleet operators like Ola, Uber, Lyft. They're not in India, but yeah, for them to enter into this space with an electric vehicle. And there's a huge demand from the customer as well, where the customers, due to the operation cost that is incurring when operating a IC engine vehicle for the last mile trip, is considerably huge compared to an EV. The customers are preferring auto rickshaws, which are 3-wheelers, and also bike taxis, which are very common in India right now. So our solution basically is a commercially viable electric vehicle, a 4-seater, a 4-door vehicle, which has got the convenience that a user expect. And it is also smart and data driven as the expectation that is that comes from the fleet operators, basically trying to make sure that they are technologically advanced enough to provide sufficient data, because the asset has to be managed efficiently. So it's a data-driven product, and we are trying to place it with an elevated user experience, basically trying to give them better amenities than any other alternate option, which is a 2-wheeler taxi or a 3-wheeler taxi. And also it is the safest in the segment. We are putting a lot of features into the vehicle, which can basically make sure that adoption from the consumer end also is better. In terms of product, the product is a light commercial vehicle, which is a passenger application. The top speed is 70 kilometers per hour. We are starting with a basic MIDC range of 120 kilometers. We are working on another model which has a range of 150 kilometers. And the cost, basically, the cost right now here is in INR. The cost in US dollars is like somewhere less than 7,000 US dollars. So if you would have seen multiple vehicles in Europe as HCM, Smart, and there are a lot of Renault Twizy, Citroen Ami. All these vehicles cost more than the north of 10,000 US dollars. We in India have built a quadricycle which can accommodate 4 people and can be used for the last mile commute, and it can be produced in like it can be sold in less than 7,000 US dollars. So this is one of the USP while playing in the cost. So how did we arrive at this cost? Because the product was targeted and designed and targeted to be made in low volume, and it designed in such a way that the cost can be lower even if you make small volumes of vehicles. And this is all made possible because of the platform architecture which we designed in-house. And in terms of carbon footprint, what we are trying to eliminate is like with this vehicle on road, we can actually decarbonize up to 6 tons of CO2 emissions per vehicle per every 5 years. And we are also using composites and recycled PET inside the vehicle interiors so that we do absorb back some of the harm which we are already created for the planet. And in terms of manufacturing the entire vehicle, we are looking at least 1.7 times reduced footprint in metal processing and also battery manufacturing.
Okay,
and
Deepak, 5 minutes or so, few
Sorry.
seconds to finish. And
basically business model. I'll just quickly put it out. The business model is to make these vehicles, make it in small micro factories and sell it to the end users right now who are ride-hailing companies. And with the current situation, we are already way ahead of competition in terms of the total cost of ownership, the energy efficiency, and also the manufacturing footprint, both for the vehicle and the battery. These are some of our advantages. And we do have identified a lot of partners across the globe, within India mostly. And we are also talking to people outside India for some potential partnership to deploy these vehicles in their state or city to be used for the last mile urban commute. And this is kind of a roadmap where we are looking forward to get into production by the mid of 2024. And we are also coming up with 2 other models of vehicles which will be used for passenger and also cargo shuttles. So we are actually trying to raise a total of 3 million right now, which is kind of a seed investment, and most of the funding going into the capital expense and a small amount going into the operating expense, which can actually accelerate us right now from here to getting the vehicle approved by the regulatory agencies, and also taking it to the next auto show in India, which is a major auto show, and also doing a paid pilot of 75 vehicles within Chennai city.
Cool. So if anyone have some question for Deepak, feel free to ask.
I have one. What is the price of the vehicle?
The selling price is $7,000 US.
How much?
$7,000 US.
Okay. And the cost?
You mean the cost of manufacturing?
Yeah.
We do have a good margin of 15% right now.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Who's your key customers?
We are targeting ride-hailing companies, basically Ola, Uber, people like Lyft, who operate in India. Right now, we are targeting Indian market to start with. And there is a good demand, and there has already been a lot of transaction happening in this market where Uber has booked 25,000 vehicles from Tata, which is the only model available commercial passenger 4-wheeler vehicle in India right now. And there are other vehicles which the cost is like 2 times higher. The one which Tata produces is somewhere around $12,000 US.
It's like a low cost.
Right.
Low cost.
Yeah, it's a low cost
affordable solution, which can basically do the job and safer solution compared to a 3-wheeler or a 2-wheeler. And even when the vehicle comes into the market, so imagine you are from what happens is like right now in India, the ride-hailing companies charge up to $0.25 per kilometer from the end users for a cab. And with this vehicle, and it's a bit more lesser for a three-wheeler. When this vehicle comes into picture, and you are paying only as much you pay for a three-wheeler, but you get the convenience of a $250 per kilometer cab.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Deepak.
Thank you. Thank you.
If I may, just to help in a vision here in Brazil, normally you have the people who have their own cars to work with in Uber, but you have huge companies for rental cars, and people rent cars to work in Uber. Like there in your country, you believe all of them is going to buy your cars? Otherwise, it's better to find like a channel to rent or to sell the cars to you.
I'll take this question. But,
Yes.
in India, we have both.
Yeah, Ajesh, you mute.
In India, we have both the options. Is we have people who actually buy the cars and lease it to drivers, as well as individual drivers can buy the cars and again lease it, use it in any of the platform, including Uber and Ola. And right now, electric vehicle ride-hailing companies are increasing in India who buy the asset and operate it along with drivers. So these are the three options, and we have a good order book from people who want to operate the vehicle as buy and use asset.
Cool. Great. Okay, thank you. So let's go to our next startup is Hexon Data. And Max,
Hello.
I see
Yes.
you.
Hi. Yeah, Max here. Yeah, just a moment. I'm sharing my screen from laptop because my laptop. I'm using mobile, but my laptop has audio issue. Just give me a moment.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, can see my screen, right?
Yeah, it works.
Right.
So 5 minutes for you, and you can start.
Okay. Okay. All right. So hi. This is Max, founder of Hexon Data, which we provide this brand name called Just Night. Our intention, our mission is to uplift the bus service and also improve profitability for bus operator, because we know bus company making money is difficult. So our current achievement is we already have 4 bus operator in Malaysia. I'm from Malaysia in Southeast Asia, and our platform has been processing more than 200,000 worth of transactions in the past since November 2021. We also provide cashless solution for bus company. So let's come back to the problem. Because public transport is very localized. Every public transport scenario in different countries are different. So let me describe a bit about Malaysia context or Asia context, right? Is that a lot of bus companies are loss-making, and they have very low ridership. Like in Malaysia, only 10% of the population taking buses because they have no trust. And second is, since since passengers are still paying heavily using cash, they are subject to fare cheating. And third, they have no means to properly control or empower the driver. Therefore, a lot of drivers' problems. Current solutions in the market are not working well because either they are very costly or they are single function component. Our solution is that we want to get bus companies to go mobile, go cashless, and go lean. And let me get into that specifically. What do I mean by that? First, go mobile means publishing all your real-time information at your arrival timing through an app, giving them the convenience of cashless payment by just scanning QR code. And also we want to model after Grab, or in India it's called Ola, similar to Ola taxi. Basically, you can give rating and even give tips to your desired drivers. Then our second component is that we will have this device mounting beside the driver. It is acting as a GPS, and it also can alert drivers of passengers waiting ahead. And also it can be used to validate NFC cards, validates bank cards in the future. So far we haven't had that, but we intend to go to support bank cards in the future. So the third component is the dashboard, where it can churn out a lot of data reports. Over here, we also help one of our bus operators to claim money from the Ministry of Transport. They're using our systems to generate reports and claims money from the transport, from Ministry of Transport. So this is our current achievement, and we believe in open, deep integration with different solutions, such as we actually integrate with a smart city data center with one of our clients, which is a city council. And we also integrate for bus companies so that they can use our systems to get the government claims from the Ministry of Transport. And also we have AI chatbot. Then briefly is that you can use the journey planner to plan your journey, get arrival timing, give feedback, pay tips, scan QR codes, and even pay for your friends. And upcoming, we also want to support NFC card to support another different payment method. So our business model is very straightforward. We are a SaaS company, software as a service. We make money by charging subscription. On top of that, we also have impose a transaction fee. And down the road, we also want to help bus companies to tap on the lucrative holy grails, is tapping on the non-fare revenue. As you know, the fare is not enough. So you want to help bus companies to tap on non-fare revenue. The concept is very simple. We reward the users of frequently using public transport, and at the same time, we expose brands to riders who regularly using the public transport. I think our difference is that there are many companies already in this space. You can call it as MaaS, mobility as a service, or ticketing solutions, or fleet management solutions. 30 seconds. Thank you, Andrew. So I'm pretty sure you guys heard before Masabi. In short, you can remember us as we are like Masabi, but we are much more affordable and probably designed for Asia. And our advantage is that we are able to provide remote support, and we have a journey planner. We are full-fledged solutions. We are very committed to our clients' success. As you can see, we work around the clock. And I think the roadmap is that now we are doing all these digitizations. Down the road, we want to support open loop payment and even go to the extent of expanding our service to other mode of transports. So what we are looking for is system integrator in other country and also the banks in other country to work together to serve the greater crowd. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you, Max. Who has a questions? I suppose it was totally clear for everyone.
Oh, okay, all right.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah,
hello. Sure.
Yeah, hi. My name's Donovan. I'm from the Philippines. Just wondering, is it the same thing that Touch and Go is doing in Malaysia? How? And they're supposed to have the biggest market share in Malaysia. How will you compete with them? Considering they have a mobile app and an online wallet and an NFC card already distributed throughout Malaysia.
Thank you, my Philippines friends. Thank you so much. Yes, as you can see, Touch and Go's they are the leader here. What we try to make a difference is, as you can see, Touch and Go, they do not have any journey planning component. They don't add value to the passengers. What they do is just cashless solution. So we make a difference by providing values for both sides, the passenger as well as providing the operational tool for the bus operator. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, hi Max. Yeah, I have a question. What is your current traction?
Our current traction is that we already onboarded 4 bus operators in Malaysia. we have handling more than 200,000 of transactions, combining both cash and cashless. And our cashless actually just rolled out very not long ago. It was like last year October. It was using scan QR method to pay, and lots of students. I think currently our apps having like close to 1,000 download organic. We don't do any marketing, and we have been handling. I think now the numbers are keep on increasing. The last update was we have been managing 6,000 ringgit of 6,000 ringgit. 6,000 ringgit is close to like 1.5K of US dollar of transaction worth of transaction for cashless. Yeah.
And what is your next step in your go-to-market strategy?
Our go-to-market strategy in Malaysia wise or in Southeast Asia wise. Let me show you this. Oh, maybe I deleted this slide. Currently, we will be relying on a lot on direct marketing. Means that we direct approach each of the big and small bus operator in Malaysia. There are not many. Like in total in Malaysia itself, there are only 40,000 buses. And what we intend is to capture 20,000 of the buses. And we are charging very affordably. If in US dollar is about close to $120 per bus per month. Yeah. And you have all the things. You have your apps, have the dashboard, have the ability to claim money from the Ministry of Transport. You have everything for just $120. So I think it's a very good deal for bus companies.
And which is the next market, next country? Maybe you have found already the same problems.
Actually, I would like to focus on Asia, Southeast Asia especially. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, India, Indonesia could be one, and Thailand. Yeah, few of these countries. Yeah, Southeast Asia.
Cool.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
So much.
Max.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So let's go to our next startup, and this startup is Meiro. I hope I pronounced it right. Okay, I suppose so. The guys need more time. Sarang. Okay. Okay. And we have one more, and ITS planner and engineers. Rajesh.
Hi. Hi.
Yes. Hello.
So good morning or good evening, everyone, depending on where you are.
Yeah.
I'm going to share my screen and talk about who we are and what I'm hopefully after.
Cool.
All right. Yeah. I hope all of you can see my slide.
Yes, we see.
Perfect. So
5
my
minutes
time starts now, I think.
Start. Yeah.
Excellent. Yes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about who we are as a company, what are our products and services, and what is it that I'm hoping to get out of this event. All right.
Okay.
At a high level, we are a company that is innovation driven in the area of intelligent transportation system and intelligent mobility. The three key people who run, I'm Dr. Rajesh Krishnan. I'm an engineer, and two of my colleagues who have a say in how the company is run are also engineers. So we are techies essentially. We are based out of Hyderabad, India. Mark is based out of the UK. So we are a company with a toehold in the UK. We are not a startup. We are a 10-year-old company, 12-year-old company. We were consultants till about 6 years back or 5 years back when we pivoted to products. We currently have 3 products that I would like to talk about. We have a couple of other products.
Sorry, Sorry, Rajesh, something's wrong with your mic, or maybe because, or it's only on mine because I hear you really bad.
Is that, could someone else please comment? Whether Marcelo, are you able to hear me?
My mic is muted.
No. Yeah, okay, now it's better. Sorry.
Right. Should I do some of the slides again, or?
No, okay.
You're fine. Perfect. So I was saying that we have, I'm going to talk about 3 of our products that are somewhat proven. The first product is an intelligent transport management system for urban traffic management. Second one is highway traffic management. And the third one is public software for public transport operations. I'm not going to talk about in detail about these products because we already have a deployment base. At a high level, I will talk about what it is and what is that we can do using the software. The first piece of software is an intelligent transport management system, which is called UTC, or urban traffic control in some parts of the world, and area traffic control system in some other parts of the world. They are essentially smart traffic lights. So traffic lights connected to detectors. Our system is capable of being integrated with a number of different detection technologies, ranging from inductive loop detectors that have been in use for the last 30-40 years across the world to the latest, most advanced radars, for example, multi-target tracking Doppler radars. The way the system works is it takes data from detectors at a number of junctions where the system is deployed. If you have legacy detectors, so to speak, or early generation detectors, it uses a heuristic algorithm, essentially traffic engineering logic, to determine signal timings that reduces delay. If you use more accurate, more advanced detectors, the system can use a model-based optimizer. In other words, the system can figure out where people are coming from and going to on a road network in an urban context. And based on the routes that people are taking, based on a model, we can determine how much screen time to give for different approaches at all the junctions that are covered. So by product, it also creates operational demand estimation, which means you can figure out how many people are traveling from one part of the city to the other, which becomes very useful if you have a public transportation system. You can tweak the public transport system with respect to your network and schedule because you have an estimate of how people are moving and where the bottlenecks are. The system is UG405 compatible, which is one of the industry standards for communication between signals and the central software. The other competing standard that you may have heard about is NTCIP, which is American. So especially our friends from South America may be more familiar with NTCIP rather than UG405, but they are similar in concept. The second product that I would like to talk about is a highway traffic management system. It essentially integrates a number of ITS IoT components that are deployed on highways. It can gather data from highways. It can provide a unified operational view in the control center. And you can control active devices such as variable message signs, even lane control signs, and CCTV cameras if they're PTZ. You can use some of the modules to capture information about accidents and roadworks, and you can also disseminate this to the public. So if you have an app like our friend from Malaysia, that's a channel to give this information to the public. So this is for highway operators. The third product that I want to talk about.
Sorry, time is a little bit over, so a few seconds you can finalize your presentation, and yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, the third product is public transport management system. You can essentially define your system about routes and schedules, and you can monitor how they are performing using data from GPS or even a mobile app. Given these 3 products, we have a a large deployment base. We have more than 20 cities in India where our ITMS product is deployed. Our highway traffic management system is deployed in roughly 8 highway stretches in India. And the platform itself is deployed in Southampton in the UK as well. The public transport management system is deployed in Trivandrum Smart City, which is also in India. So with this, I'm hoping to use this opportunity to find connections where we could pilot these projects internationally, because we're looking to expand outside India at the moment.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, good. Maybe someone have questions.
The customer, basically the customer is going to be governments, right? Is a B2G?
Ultimately, yes. Most of our existing customers are large companies that respond to government tenders. And the way the government tenders, smart city tenders work in India is each tender will have a number of different components, including transport management. So these large companies rope in a number of OEMs, so to speak, including the likes of us. And they put together a solution. So it is B to B to G, essentially. And we are the B at the bottom. But having said that, we can directly work with governments. We haven't done it because of the way the ecosystem works in India.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Rajesh.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, our next startup is Safari Share. Guys, if you're ready, you can start sharing your screen.
Sure, no problem. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So my name is Ernest Sokot. I'm the CEO and founder of this company, which is called Safari Share. And our mission is to maximize vehicle occupancy as a way to provide accessible and green transport. So on the one hand, we have underdeveloped public transport systems in most of our cities, which is leaving a lot of our people underserved. And on the other hand, we have a very fast-growing vehicle ownership rate, which is growing at about 12% every year. And every day, people in these developing countries are driving over 1 billion empty seats. On average, most cars have 1.5 people in them. So we're wasting all that space and all that energy. And this is what we are trying to solve at Safari Share. I know that there are so many other ways to solve this problem, but what is obvious to us is that like one way that we can actually implement today is to increase the vehicle occupancy. So we have a mobile platform which will connect regular people who are driving to work and back every day. If they have empty seats, they can be able to find other passengers who are going the same way, so that they can that they can ride together and share the cost. So for passengers, this gives them another option as opposed to like public transport and also services like Uber. So our
Ernest, you're freezed a little bit.
This better?
Yeah, now we hear you.
Okay, sorry. So
not yet. Sometimes it's happening in Zoom.
Okay. Is this
Yeah,
better?
now it's
Maybe
better.
turn off your video, maybe it's better for the connection.
Yeah, let me try that. Okay.
Yeah,
So
go.
so for our drivers, like they're able to earn 10 to 30% extra of their income without changing their daily route and like without incurring any expense on time, right? And then for cities, you're able to get less traffic, less carbon emissions. You're able to at least 2x your transport without adding any new infrastructure, just by using cars that are already on the road driving empty seats. So since we started in early 2020, we have been able to have about 15,000 trips that have been completed. We've been able to get more than 15,000 more than 15,000 people who have signed up, and about 3,000 drivers. And an interesting fact is we have seen in our market, like we have about 20% of our internet users are actually female, and yet on our platform we have more than 45%, which implies that they are affected much by the public transport. I mean, where they have to fight for seats and they have to deal with sexual harassment, and this is why we think that they prefer our platform. So this is how it works. If you're a commuter, all you have to do is to sign up, and then let us know what your daily route is and what times you will leave work. And then every day we try to match you with someone who is on the same route. And all the payments are done through our app, like using our wallet. So this is how it works today. Also, we have a B2B platform where we partner with big companies, like set up a carpooling program. And we also give them a platform where they can invite like their members, and they can incentivize them and monitor how the carpooling is working in their companies. So this is, I mean, from all the work we have done in carpooling, this is how we think that carpooling can actually be implemented in any city. So the first step is to set up a what we call a community carpool. This is to partner with companies and other closed communities like churches and all sorts of places where people like tend to gather, to be able to set up a carpool. So once we have enough of these places, then the next step is to open it up to the general public, so that they can start to carpool to work and back. And once you have that built up retention of carpooling, they can also use it for intercity rides. And this is the strategy that we intend to implement in any new market that we go into. And we also invite other companies that are trying to do carpooling to test out this as well. So what we want out of this meeting is basically to get any cities or any companies that are part of this call to, I guess, to sign up for our carpooling program. We provide a free free assessment of how feasible this is in their company. We will also onboard them and also like provide on-site and remote support. We will also drive the adoption within their company. So
great.
This is an invitation to all of you to implement carpooling at your company. Thank you.
Thank you, Ernest. So who has a question?
Me, please. Hi, Ernest. Nice presentation. I was not hearing properly. Maybe can you elaborate more about the thing that you were saying to avoid sexual harassment for female users or something like that? Can you explain it a little bit better? Thanks.
So, if you've ever been to a public transport station in any of the African countries, or even in any of the developing countries, it's usually like very crowded, and like people are trying to get into I mean this minivan. It's especially for routes which have like a lot of people. So there's a lot of pushing and haggling, and this can be quite uncomfortable. I mean for women. I mean, sometimes they're dropped and things like that. So this is why we are seeing a higher. We are seeing that women are looking for other modes of transport where they don't have to go through this.
Okay. I was thinking that you had a more elaborated strategy to attract more female users. Have you made a study of how would be the share, how many female users, how many male users of the system, or we have to wait until the pilot project of the city would be implemented to know that?
I mean, like we haven't really done any studies, but then I mean, from conversations like with our users, we have seen that some of them are actually asking for, I mean, for female-only couples, and I mean, some of them like just prefer it the way it is, like just because they don't have to deal with like the public transport where they have all these issues.
In my experience, some taxi solutions, carpooling or car sharing solutions in my country, some countries in the Andean region here in South America, female users like also to be, I mean, transported by female drivers also. It's kind of interesting to study that and to know what would be the users of this solution that you're proposing. I suggest to make some more deep studies about it. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. And also, I think one key advantage is that, I mean, when you're carpooling, like you have a choice over who is going to drive you. Like you get to choose like from a list of drivers who are on your route. So that kind of gives them a bit more, I mean, it's kind of like a vetting way, right? And also, I guess from the reviews and also the ratings of drivers, we were able to weed out these types of bad characters. Yes, but I agree with you. It would be something interesting to investigate.
Oh, hey, Ernest, congratulations for your project. I worked with that 10 years ago, so maybe you can have my contact after this event to share all my failings. Let me ask you that. How you make money in B2C and how you make money in B2B is the same way?
Yes, so how we make money is essentially we take a 15% cut of every seat that is shared. But so for our B2B customers, like we don't charge them any fees. Like we just make money from all the rides that are shared within their company. So I would say it's a B2B2C essentially.
Okay. I would have so many things to say, but just not to take all the time here. What I would say is like to focus, because you have money in two parts, but if you try to do both, maybe it can hold your business back. Like a BlaBlaCar and focusing the way you charge, because BlaBlaCar used to operate here in Brazil for so long without getting money, and maybe it can, and they take a world crisis and it can break your business. And there is some ways to make money from B2B. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. After our meeting, yeah, we will share contacts, experts, startups, so you can chat about it.
Thank you.
Cool. And finally, our last startups is Journey Tech. Donovan, you're here.
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity. Let me just be quick about this. Company's called Journey Tech. We're a fintech company. We shifted to be a fintech company just after 4 years of operation. We started off in 2000 and
Okay. Donovan, you're freezed. Interesting. Okay, Donald is still here, but I'm not sure. Okay, Donald, we don't hear you and don't see your presentation.
Wait, let me share it again. Wait, give me a minute. Let me share it again.
Okay.
Yeah, here you go. Can you see it?
Yeah, we see.
Okay, so from a systems integrator, we shifted to become a fintech company primarily because of the trends happening in the Philippines, with the Department of Transport and the central bank pushing for cashless or financial inclusion. Currently in the Philippines, cash is king, and there are only two major players in the transport cash card business. And currently, our product called Tripco is a reloadable cash card using NFC technology. So it's nothing special. It's pretty much the same technology as other transit card or stored value card is used worldwide. What we have done since
Yeah, Donovan, you're freeze again.
Maybe turn off the video is going to help again.
Yeah. Yes, Donovan.
Sorry, let me show you. I don't know what's happening with my internet right now.
Try to turn off your video.
Okay, let me turn off my video right now. Okay, there you go.
Oh.
So currently our transit card called Tripco, which is the same technology used for other stored value cards worldwide, is the #1 transit card in the Philippines. And we have the most number of transport operators and accepted geographically all over the Philippines, considering we're a group of islands. Okay, so these are the routes that we serve and so on. Here. So going back to my other slide, in 2022, we grew rapidly, and we earn based on a transaction fee, compared to what Hexagon was doing a subscription base. In our case, we charge a transaction fee every time my cash card is used. We processed 2.4 billion pesos transaction in 2022. So everything is going, and we served 30.6 million passengers last year. So things are moving that trend. Thanks for the government's direction as well to go digital or cashless. So moving forward, where is to solidify position and position very well in the transport industry. We're now a form of payment, and of course, the other direction we have for the next 3 years is to digitalize local government unit and replacing the school ID to digitalize the school for prevention of COVID, minimize cash usage and cashless payment inside the school. Based on statistics, 40% of passengers last year we intend to 2020 moving forward. So there, thank you for giving us the opportunity to share to you what we've been doing in the Philippines and the traction that we have and where we intend to be. So last statement, we intend to be the octopus card in the Philippines. Yeah, that's our intention, to be the octopus card in the Philippines. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Donovan, for your
Okay.
presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, this is it. So it was our final startups for our today meetings. And I would like to thank you all for joining us today. And I hope what you enjoying the session. We will definitely share the decks with all participants, experts, startups, so you can just discuss about your pilots, project, mentoring, and ideas deeply. So let's keep in touch, and thanks again for your time and what you take apart.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Thank you. Congrats.
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Hello.
Recording stopped.